What's up, guys? Welcome to Champion Picks. I'm Jared Champion. This edition of Champion Picks is our Week 8 2016 NFL Fantasy. I've got some pickups, some injury advices, and some buy-sell requests. First off, guys, I want to start off with saying if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We have guest handicappers coming on every week from here on out to give you free plays. Make sure you're subscribed and checking daily, because there could be a free play almost every day. My guest handicapper last week, our guys over at monstersportspicks.com. Free play on my channel, and if you followed him to his Facebook like I told you to on the video, he gave an additional 7 more plays. He went 8-1 this week, picking the Lions straight up, picking Seattle plus 1.5. He had a really good week, man, and so I look forward to being able to give you guys whatever free picks he's willing to offer, so stay tuned. Look at what we got. I'm going to take a little recap on what we've been calling. This is Jay Ajayi. This is back in week 3. As you can see my ugly face up there in the top left. I was telling you to pick up Jay Ajayi when he had 14 yards rushings on 2 carries. If you didn't watch the Dolphins at the beginning of the year, Ajayi was the best running back in preseason. And then when Arian Foster got hurt, I was for sure that he was going to start playing off good. Him and Adam Gates didn't have a very good relationship at the beginning of the year, but they've kind of built on that. He was actually a healthy scratch in a game because of his bad attitude. But not usually a person to toot my horn, but Jay Ajayi is going to be a great running back from here on out in fantasy, so toot fucking toot. After Ajayi, we'll look and see what he called for week 7. I still had Ajayi, Case Keenum. If Case Keenum would have thrown 4 picks, he would have had 22 fantasy points. So I still think he's going to be a decent streaming quarterback. It's just terrible that he had such a bad interception to touchdown ratio this week. And Vernon Davis finished the week as the top 5 tight end. So if you managed to play Vernon Davis, that helped you out a lot. Cole Beasley was on bye. Kenny Britt had 11 targets. Like I said, steer clear of Kenny Britt unless you were desperate. He only caught 3 balls on 11 targets. CJ Fedorowicz, they actually play tonight, Monday night, so I'm still curious about how he's going to do. I'm recording this before then. And then I told you to handcuff Shady McCoy. So you saw that Shady McCoy was a last-minute add to the game, and he dressed out, but he didn't play that much, and Gillingsley didn't have that good of a game. But Shady McCoy re-injured his knee, so he might be out for 2 more weeks. So hopefully if you had LaShawn McCoy, you handcuffed him with Gillingsley, so you'll be okay for the next 2 weeks. If not, make sure you get Gillingsley now, since you know McCoy's not going to play. We'll go on to our Week 8 pickups. I like Brandon LaFell. He had a good week this week. The thing that really gets me is I don't think LaFell's going to have big weeks unless it's going to be a bad team or a good matchup for him. Like if there's a shutdown cornerback on AJ, then yeah, LaFell might have a good game, or if it's just a bad team, as you saw this week. But he finished in as a wide receiver 1 this week, which is pretty rare for him. I told you almost 2 weeks ago about Thielen and Patterson and how a lot of people are going to be picking up Thielen, and I liked Patterson because of the design run plays and design short passes they have to him. Patterson actually finished this week as a wide receiver 1. I don't know why I put RB1, but he finished this week as a wide receiver 1. I think like 16th wide receiver in the NFL, so definitely he could have been started a 10-team league. I think from here on out, the Vikings lost another game, and they couldn't really run the ball that well, so I think Patterson is going to be one of those guys that they're just going to try to get the ball to because he's got big play potential. Marquise Lee, if you have Allen Hurns, you can replace him with Marquise Lee. As we saw this week, it's Blake Bortles' favorite target, even though he's not hitting targets worth of shit. But Marquise Lee definitely took the number 2 spot over Allen Hurns. And then Jay Ajayi, obviously, he's still only owned in 25% of leagues. I've been telling you to pick him up for 3 weeks now, I think. And he just came off his second 200-yard game in a row. And then CJ Fedorowicz tonight, he's playing against Denver. If he scores tonight against Denver, I think he kind of locks you in there as, like a top 10 tight end. He's had 3 touchdowns in 3 games, so stay tuned for the Denver game tonight and see how he does. And then This last play is a big long shot, but Russell Shepard was a LSU wide receiver the same time that Odell Beckham was. He had 10 touchdowns throughout his career, 5 rushing, 5 receiving. He's like a wide receiver running back combo, and he showed up this week. I think 12 points for Tampa Bay, but they reversed a bad San Francisco. So I wouldn't pick up Shepard, but keep him on your radar because if he starts popping off, and with the injuries that Tampa Bay has in the running back position, he can be a really good, versatile player, kind of like the Terrell Pryors, the Cordell Pattersons in the NFL. I'm going to go on to my buys and sells. Let's look at our buys and sells for last week. I told you to buy Steelers players, and as you saw, Steelers still played decently without Roethlisberger. Antonio Brown had some catches. You know, it's not going to be a dead zone for them while Ben's out. We were initially thinking Ben was going to be out 3 weeks, but now he looks like he's going to be out 4 to 6. So I'm still in the buy position for Steelers wide receivers. I think those could be some good guys that you can run through the playoffs with. And then I told you to sell Julian Edelman and sell Colby Fleener. If you didn't sell both of those guys last week, you probably won't be able to sell them now this week. Colby Fleener came back to reality again, had like 4 catches for 40 yards. He had 4 points. He caught a touchdown, but he had an offensive pass interference. He just threw the cornerback down. Like, I don't understand like how he thinks he can get away with that, but literally like underhooked him with one arm and hip tossed him to the ground and caught the ball. So I just don't believe in Colby Fleener for the rest of the year. And then Julian Edelman had that bad fumble, and he only had like 4 looks for Tom Brady. Chris Hogan has pretty much taken his, that little slot position that he used to get all the plays at. So, just by the name value, you might be able to get something out of Edelman, but he's not very good this year. My sells this week: big bad Odell Beckham. I think after he had the big comeback game with the Ravens, and he didn't really show up in London. Just because of the name value, I would trade Odell Beckham. If I could trade Odell Beckham for Jay, I would do it right now. So that kind of tells you how I feel about him going for the rest of the year. You can take that with a grain of salt. I know a lot of people don't trade studs, but I just don't think he's the valued player that he was last year. Thanks again for all the support, guys. Click that subscription button, thumbs up, and stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have a lot of free picks coming from guest pickers this week. So if you're into free money, free plays, stay tuned to the channel.